So here we have the K100 oil pump water cooler module, and this is how we do the rebuild of the unit. So first I've got the seal number 8, which is an oil seal that's in there. As you can see, I've installed that just using a socket. That's too big, but I use a different type of socket and whack that one in. Just be careful you don't pinch the seal. So it sits in there really nicely. You'll know when it's all the way down. You'll hear the sound of the sockets bottoming out. So next is to put this unit here in. So it's I actually messed this up yesterday. This is my second one. There's the old one there. And I read somewhere online to insert this first and then put this on. That's incorrect. Put this on first, because what happens if you're trying to push this through when this is not in properly, it'll actually rip this top section of the housing out. And you can see at the bottom here, it's just sort of thin metal there as well, so that can easily rip off like what's happened to mine. So here we have the water seal. This seals the water, keeps the water to this side of the pump, and this seal, the oil seal, keeps the oil on this side of the pump. As you can see, there's a tiny little hole down here. That's your weep hole indication. So that'll actually weep through here, and when you've got water and oil mixture weeping out of here, you know it's time to change the seal. So put the water seal in, sit it in there, and I've got a socket which fits around just the outside of that, and I'm going to now hit that in to press it down. All I did is put this socket over the top of it and give it a whack with a rubber mallet, and that's seated in nicely. You'll still notice there's a bit of movement there, which means that we haven't damaged this little bit here, this little part of the unit like I did yesterday. You can see that's how it all looks deconstructed. So anyway, we've got that in. So next step here is actually inserting the shaft through the back, the other side of the housing. So I'm just going to give it a light grease. Yeah. And we'll insert this through this side, which you've got to do really carefully because you don't want it to pinch, number one, the oil seal. Drop it down to there. And number two, we don't want it to damage the seal or where it grabs inside of the water part on this side of the pump as well. So you can actually push that down. You can feel that the shaft is moving free with the top section of the water seal here with the spring. It's not moving the bottom section there. They're two separate things. The idea is that the bottom section will obviously stay fixed. Shaft will spin inside this section here, being the moving part of the process. So next, what they say is get the bolt you're going to use with some washers to pull that shaft through. So I'll be doing that now. So here we go. I've just got the bolt they're using with some washers I could find, and what we're going to do is tighten this carefully to pull the other side of the shaft through. So now I can't do it with two hands because I need to hold the other side, but basically what we're doing is tighten this up, pull the shaft. So as you can see, the shaft is slowly being pulled in, and now once we've got it in enough, unscrew the main bolt. And what we want to do is put in the spacer. So there's my old spacer, and I've got a new version from the old style pump. You can see the old shaft. Often you'll shear this top bit here, because what happens is it corrodes the bolt, the top here on the water pump side, especially if people are not using proper coolant. You're using sort of tap water or something with some minerals in it, it'll cause rust and corrosion inside. So that's what happened in my case. So I had to replace the whole shaft. This is the old style pump. top of the shaft. You can see it's rusted as well. This is the newer style. So when you're fitting the newer style, you need to make sure you've got the newer style spacer as well. So these two will need to come together to fit this the new shaft. This ridged edge here needs to sit up. So if you can imagine, the shaft inserts into here, and this ridged edge is a locator for the pump. Okay, so once you've pulled it through enough, fit this onto here. That will pull the shaft into this part here and all the way through. So I've got the spacer installed there, and now I'm going to keep on winding this up to pull the rest of the shaft through. So we're pretty much all the way through there. I'm just going to wind this off and make sure that this is sitting inside the housing. I can already tell it is. You can see the shafts pulled through there, and that's located fine. So I just wanted to make sure that was all good. So now I'll just continue going to pull it all the way through until it's flush on the other side. So there we have it. This side's spinning freely. On the other side, it's pulled all the way through. So now wind off. Shafts come all the way through. Spacer sits there. New pump on the top. This all the way through, and we're done. I want to tighten this nut to 33 Newton meters for the correct adjustment. Once you've done that, we're done. I've got a post on my Instagram account about reconditioning this pump itself. So if you're interested in that, I'll share a link to it as well. So with the painting, the prep, getting it back to pretty much as new condition. Anyway, I hope that post helped. I posted the video because there was just there wasn't much out there on YouTube. There was some pretty crappy videos on actually completing the seal replacement. So I hope this helps some people out in the future.